And I will just simply wait for those independents who eventually will not be accommodated by these two big parties or the other party whatsoever. So I will just simply wait and then gather all the independent parties and form an alliance with them.
You've tasted empanaditas and buns, but have you ever tasted papas con chorizo, curried chicken, pulled pork, double cheese, and tuna basil? Only Jinki's Kitchen offers these flavors. Catch a bite now of Jinki's Kitchen empanaditas and buns at Kmart, Monsterepic at Singkang and Talisay City, San Carlos, Silay City, Lopez East Center, and Lopez San Sebastian. Jinki's Kitchen empanaditas and buns, a pocket full of goodness. Nature's Perfect Lunchbox. For perfect eggs, fresh and clean, guaranteed all the time. For orders, text or call 0907-838-7958.
Sir, you are running as Vice Mayor.
Yes.
With what political group?
I am running as independent with no political party or aggregation and with no political machinery whatsoever. So I would just simply present myself before the public, present my platform and my policies, and let the people decide.
Did you feel a bit disappointed that former Congressman Albi Benitez didn't make any offer to you?
No, not at all. You know what? At the early onset, I have already manifested my statement that I will be running independent. And in the event that former Congressman, in the event that if Congressman Albi Benitez will take me as his running mate, I am open. So in other words, I did not in any way categorically would say yes, because a lot of factors that needs to be considered before I would consider taking if an offer as such will come. I feel there are several factors that I need to consider, and one of those is the composition of the party itself. So who will be my other party mates if in case I will so decide to be his running mate. So these and several others. But I have time and again manifested, even in the past, that I will be running as independent. And if in case that any political aggregation or party will take me, it is and will be a form of an alliance. Yes.
But isn't that supposed to be the concern of your party also, ang MKK? Because from what I've heard, around 60 to 80% of the political base now of Albi Benitez is actually MKK. But they did not raise that to Kong Albi, that if indeed there's a coalition among anti-Albi forces, because by and large, you, not by and large, but the fact is you are the only opposition official now in Bacolod City, and yet, did they not bargain this with Congressman Albi, that you should be a running mate, his running mate?
No, at the early onset, I have been couched, I have been told, I have been asked. But I have set my stand on several issues, which I do not want to discuss any further, because those things happened months before. But I have made myself very, very clear on this regarding on the set of principles or stand that I also need to stand by for, because after all, that is the only thing that I am holding on even up to the present. In the how many years that I have been councilor, that is the only thing, Silingko, that I have been holding on. And that is a principled stand which remains to be so up to the present time.
You will be running as an independent candidate. Wala ka kandidato sa pagka-mayor, congressman. But are you supporting anyone of them between the two? Who would you be supporting?
Yes, I have time and again manifested that if I will always and I will vote for mayoral candidate Albi Benitez. I have said that time and again. In fact, I was the first one to say that at the early onset, it was early as last year, but in the advent that former Congressman Albi Benitez will so decide to run as mayor, he will always have my support. But Councilor Wilson Gamboa is only good for one vote. But again, aside from Albi Benitez, hopefully I will be able also to gather enough number of independent councilors, which are also will be in a form of an alliance with them.
But you are not supporting any candidate for Congress?
No. Wala pa man. I don't know who are the rest of the others who will run for congressman, but
As of the moment, not
as
yet.
of the moment, wala.
You mentioned about independent candidates for councilor. So what would happen daw caucus of independents kamo?
Yes, daw alliance sa gyapon na. That is why nga I've been telling some of the independent candidates to if there's a way for you to be invited in any of the two parties, no? You are feel free to do so. Practicality-wise, I think it is the best thing for you to do. And I will just simply wait for those independents who eventually will not be accommodated by these two big parties or the other party whatsoever. So I will just simply wait and then gather all the independent parties and form an alliance with them. Now, respecting them further, that if in case there will be some other groups or agrupations that will invite you during the course of the campaign, you are most open and welcome to do that. Because, again, this is an election. We need to be inclusive. No, we need to invite others. We are not supposed to exclude anybody here. And so therefore, we need to gather to as much votes as we can in order for you to win. So I very much understand nga amoy na subong niya ang posisyon sang isa ka independente nga mga kandidato.
But let's talk about your chances of winning. What do you think? Based on the political history of Bacolod, anong paglantaw ni Masina?
Well, historically, this will be the first. If in case that I will win, no, as independent in a solo position, just like what you mentioned to me before. So I'm not making a political statement here. I did not plan this. I did not even expect this. But if in case, after all, feeling ko, I am running not to oppose any person or any man, but to propose new policies, new guidelines, new ideas, and new platforms of government. And by doing so, by running independent, feeling ko another political statement may be that I have been steadfast in my convictions, that I am against money politics, and I am against patronage politics. So this will be a test case, no? Again, pagbag-o man ayhan ang ginapangayo sang kalabanan naton nga utod. So my running as independent for a solo position as Vice Mayor of the City of Bacolod will be a test case if indeed people are indeed ready for us to make the necessary changes in governance. So the challenge now is also posed before the general public.
So it's a test case for the people's political maturity.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So it is a challenge not just for Councilor Gamboa alone, but for all of us who have been clamoring for change. O kung ginatawag natin pagbago.
But if they don't vote for you, does it mean that the people of Bacolod is not yet politically mature?
Yes, definitely.
Why so?
Because, you know what, this election, has, again, time and again, since time immemorial, has always been money politics and patronage politics. Okay? So we know very well na that is the main cause or the main reasons of the evils in government because of this practice. So we will try to destroy that chain and then see for ourselves whether or not people are indeed have changed and have matured in terms of selecting their own political leaders.
When are you expected to file your COC?
I will file my candidacy on October 7. We will have mass at 7 to 8 a.m. and then proceed immediately right after to the COMELEC to file my candidacy and to get the rest of the other independent candidates who wish to join me in filing.
Let's talk about your visions and platforms as soon as you have filed your COC, Councilor. In the meantime, thank you so much.
Thank you so on. Madamong salamat.